Hello everyone. The topic of this chapter is analytics for decision making. Many organizations introduce data analytics to make their decision makings more efficient and effective. However, data-driven decision making often fail because managers do not properly define the problem to be solved. Moreover, for effective data-driven decision making, managers need to have fundamental knowledge of data analytics and machine learning, the most popular method of the current data science. Also, this chapter covers the concepts of problem statement, business analytics, and machine learning so that you can be a good data-driven decision maker. By the end of this chapter, you'll be able to explain how to identify problems in data science project, explain the types of business analytics, explain what machine learning is, and difference between supervised learning and unsupervised learning. In the current business, there's growing attention to data-driven decision-making. In this section, we will see what data-driven decision-making is. This section also covers the concept of problem statement, which is a foundation of effective data-driven decision-making. Data-driven decision-making refers to the practice of basing decisions on the analysis of data rather than purely on intuition. The effect of data-driven decision-making is examined in a survey research that collected data from 330 companies in the United States. This survey was conducted by an MIT research team during 2005 to 2009. It showed that the use of data-driven decision-making possibly relates to productivity, return on asset, and market value. In work situations, we need to make decisions for various business problems. Some problems are totally unpredictable, but others contain underlying patterns and the relationship between variables. If we can find the patterns in a relationship, we can use them for effective decision making. People have their own folk theories. That is, people sometimes think that they have already know the patterns and the relationship from their experience. However, folk theories are sometimes contaminated by cognitive bias or effective for only specific situations and not generalizable. Besides, in many cases, people making decisions based on their gut feelings. Intuitive decision makings are sometimes effective, but they are often biased by the decision maker's cognitive frame. When they think so, they use gut feeling to decision making. I do not mean that we always make decisions based on data. Our reliance on data in decision making is also a problem. Research shows that intuitive decision makings are sometimes effective. The point here is that we need to recognize the utility of data-driven decision making, and when appropriate, we need to use it aiming to more effective decision making. You may know a famous aphorism in statistics: all models are wrong. It first appeared in George Box's paper in 1976. It is often expanded to all models are wrong, but some are useful. Using data science methods, we can develop and elaborate predictive models for various problems. But we should recognize that those models are just approximation, not a perfect prophet. So, all models are wrong. Box suggests two things we need to keep in mind: parsimony and selectivity. Since all models are wrong, we cannot obtain a perfect model. So, excessive elaboration is meaningless. Instead, we should try to build a simple model with an acceptable level of performance. Besides, since all models are wrong, we need to focus on what is importantly wrong. Box's aphorism suggests that we should avoid over-reliance of data. We need to satisfy with acceptable, not perfect models in agile business environment. Besides, we need to integrate our domain expertise and expert intuition with data analytics. This is an example of data science workflow we saw in the previous lecture. The first phase is problem identification. Here, we need to identify the problem properly, using our domain knowledge and business understanding. Then, we need to state the problem. So, this phase is also called problem statement. Here, we need to state the problem we will solve properly. Proper problem statement is necessary for identifying what kind of insight we aim to obtain, what kind of data we need to collect, what kind of analytical method we should use, how to put the insight into practice. So, how can we identify problems properly? To identify a problem properly, we need to identify the followings. First, we need to know the current state. In many cases, managers do not investigate the current situation based on evidence. They often define the current state using their current knowledge and gut feelings only. Sometimes they even go on to problem solving, skipping without clarifying the current state. However, without a proper understanding of the current state, the following data collection and data analysis will be beside the point. So, we need to have evidence-based understanding of the current state. For such understanding, descriptive analytics of collected data is useful. Besides, we can improve our understanding by combining the descriptive analytics and our domain expertise. Next, we need to identify the desirable state. The desirable state does not need to be one-to-one correspondence with the current state, because if you force yourself to do so, it will narrow the problem too much and you will miss the point. Then, identify the gap. Here, we need to identify the gap between the current state and the desirable state. It clarifies what we need to do and what kind of insights we need to obtain from data analytics. Besides, we need to identify the research gap. That is, we need to identify what we already know and what we do not know. It clarifies what kind of data we need to have and what kind of analytics we need to apply. Let's see an example. Suppose we run a subscription business and face a situation where only a few of our customers are repeated customers, so we spend a lot of money to obtain new customers. In this case, what the problem statement should be. Intuitively, we know that customer satisfaction affects the customer's decision whether to continue the subscription or not. Low customer satisfaction will result in customer churn. So let's define the problem as how to enhance customer satisfaction and collect data of customer satisfaction and related variables. Then analyze what are the causes of low customer satisfaction. However, this problem statement is not appropriate. Customer churn is not equivalent with low customer satisfaction. Customer churn is caused by various factors other than customer satisfaction. Besides, even perfectly satisfied customers can churn. For instance, suppose the products of our subscription business are online courses of introductory level data science. And suppose many customers completed our course and they were very satisfied with our contents. However, if we do not provide more advanced courses, they will cancel the subscription because they move to other providers to have more advanced courses. So, to identify the problem, we should clarify the points we saw in the previous slide. First, clarify the current state. In this case, the current state is only a few of our customers are repeat customer, so we spend a lot of money to obtain new customer. So, the desirable state can be Many of our customers are repeat customers, so we spend a little money to obtain new customer. So, the gap between the current state and the desirable state is high customer churn rate and a low churn rate. And what we do not know is why is our customer churn rate high? That is, what is the predictors of our customer churn? And from the viewpoint of customer retention management, our questions include how to predict who will churn or not, and how can we retain the possible churners. So, our problem should be like this. In real business problems, we should have cost-benefit perspective. So, in this case, we need to consider the cost and benefit of customer retention management. So, we also need to clarify how much cost we need to spend to retaining possible churners and how much cost we can save by retaining cost churners. We often fall into misleading problem statement in this phase. So, it is important for us to understand a business to identify the problem properly. To do it, we need to use our domain knowledge and understanding of our business context.